It's the official start of a new school year. Whether you're starting at the infant, primary, secondary, or tertiary level, we here at the JIS wish you a productive year. Remember, your attitude determines your altitude, so be sure to have an open mind to receive your lessons. Study without procrastination, and most of all, don't be too hard on yourself. School is an environment of triumphs, trials, and errors. So just stick to it, and you will achieve your goals. All the best.
Stand up and get in the race.
I can become the master of my destiny.
Step up your stride, make we work like a harder. Do it like Veronica, more than a supper.
We can rise above the challenges and shine.
Was with passion in your heart. Make a plan and stop all the idling. You think I saw? We reach a the edge. I can, you can. Like our Olympians, every Jamaican can.
Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh, and this is your JIS News for Monday, September 2. Prime Minister Andrew Holness broke ground on Friday for 110 single-story, two-bedroom duplex units at the Twickenham Glades housing development in St. Catherine. The $1.4 billion project, which is to be completed in 16 months, is Phase 4 of the National Housing Trust Twickenham Park housing development.
This will include civil infrastructure such as roadways, a stormwater drainage system, a potable water distribution network, sewage system, and a boundary wall with restricted access and a guardhouse. There will be areas earmarked for open space and other such amenities, including multi-purpose courts, a community center, and all of this is done to foster a closely knit community.
Twickenham Glades will add to the over 4,000 housing solutions that have been developed and delivered in St. Catherine since 2017. Among the other projects to come on stream is 602 solutions in Colbeck Castle. The Health and Wellness Ministry will be launching its pre-exposure prophylaxis PrEP pilot program before the end of the year as part of efforts to tackle HIV infections. Acting Director of Health Promotion and Protection in the ministry, Dr. Simone Spence, says the aim is to reduce new cases of the human immunodeficiency virus, HIV, to zero.
In terms of our pilot program for PrEP, we're in the preparatory stages of that, looking at determining criteria in terms of which patients would be most suited to participate, and then do a pilot to roll that out later this year before we make a definitive decision on how it is logistically we roll out the PrEP program.
Dr. Spence was speaking at the ministry's recent quarterly press conference. PrEP is a pill that is designed to be taken by HIV-negative individuals to prevent contraction of the virus. According to Dr. Spence, persons who take PrEP daily are said to reduce their risk of getting HIV from sex by more than 90%. Initial funding for the PrEP pilot program is being provided by the government, which is also financing the antiretroviral medications that are provided to persons living with HIV. Meanwhile, a 24-hour toll-free helpline will soon be launched by the Ministry of Health and Wellness for persons living with mental illnesses and those affected by the condition. Portfolio Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton says a private branch exchange, PBX Network, has already been purchased to establish the helpline, which will be able to accept multiple calls at the same time. 5 psychologists will be employed to man the new system.
The study that we commissioned, the Mental Illness and Homelessness Task Force, suggests that 4 of every 10 Jamaicans at some point in their lives will be affected by some sort of mental instability. We are very sensitive to the issue, and we have deployed, having done the report, resources to address a number of areas around mental illness.
Dr. Tufton was speaking recently at his ministry's quarterly press conference. He said mental health professionals were being trained to increase the level of care needed by persons who will access the helpline. Already 30 professionals have been trained to provide on-site response with police officers, firemen, and mental health team members. Private medical practitioners are also to form part of the network of responders at the parish level.
In addition to that, Logistic support will be provided through the acquisition of some 14 buses, mental health buses, vehicles that are dedicated to mental health at the parish level.
The helpline will be promoted ahead of the launch, and a public education campaign will be rolled out to address stigmatization. Results of the primary exit profile of PEP for students in grades 4 and 5 will be made available in the coming weeks. Minister with Oversight for the Education Ministry, Carl Samuda, gave the update during his ministry's recently held back-to-school press conference.
Grade 5 will be released on Friday, September the 13th, 2019, and Grade 4 will be released on Friday, October the 4th, 2019. The detailed support report will provide comprehensive information on students' achievements of specific subcategories in all subjects: mathematics, science, social studies, and language arts.
The primary exit profile is a series of tests being administered from grade 4 to 6. It replaces GSAT as the National Secondary School Entrance Examination and is intended to provide a more comprehensive assessment of students' academic and critical thinking capabilities at the end of their primary level education. And finally, the nation was hit on Sunday with news of the death of two icons of Jamaica, Dr. Ken Baugh and Samir Yunus. Both men have been ailing for some time. Prime Minister Andrew Holness has hailed Dr. Ken Baugh as a statesman and a true gentleman of politics. He says Dr. Baugh exemplified dignity and integrity throughout his public life. During his political career, Dr. Baugh served as Minister of Health, Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, and Deputy Prime Minister, as well as General Secretary and Chairman of the Jamaica Labour Party. He also served as a Senator and a Member of Parliament for Northwest St. James and then West Central St. Catherine until his retirement in 2016. Leader of the opposition, Dr. Peter Phillips, says Dr. Baugh gave many years of faithful service to the country as a surgeon and also in politics and ministerial service. In paying tribute, he remarked that the nation has lost a true and dedicated son. As for Samir Yunus, he was recognized by both leaders as a nation builder. Prime Minister Andrew Holness called Yunus one of our great developers of industry. Dr. Phillips praised him for his dedication to public service. Samir Yunus served as president of the Jamaica Chamber of Commerce from 1986 to 1991 and as president of the Jamaica Manufacturers Association from 1996 to 2000. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.
Jamaicans, drivers, passengers, motorcyclists, and pedestrians, slow down. Observe the rules of the road. Be courteous. Drive defensively. Be considerate. Buckle up. Wear a helmet. The careless overtaker is only rushing to the undertaker. Not observing the rules of the road could cost you your life and that of your loved ones. I encourage all road users to take special care as we use public thoroughfares. The life you save may be your own. Remember, your family wants you to arrive alive.
It's back to school for most, and with it comes increased traffic on the roads. Though it can be difficult to readjust to the early morning routine, we don't want you to forget these simple road courtesies.
Pedestrians, it is only safe to cross this designated part of the road if you follow the road rules. Never attempt to cross before the indication is given, and do not try to beat the oncoming traffic which has the green light.
You have overhead bridges, and overhead bridges are safe areas that are provided for pedestrians to cross. What we are seeing are pedestrians dashing across dual carriageways and then leaping over concrete medians. That is a no-no. We have had persons who have lost their lives doing that. And I am now appealing to pedestrians to do the right thing and access the overhead bridges that are provided in order to save your own life.
Where there is no overhead bridge or crossing sign, use the pedestrian crossing with caution. Monitor the lights and cross when it's safe to do so. That is a dangerous practice and a 99.9% chance of this happening.
The amount of kinetic energy that comes on your body, that is going to determine whether or not you survive.
There are several signs. Road signs are the language of the road. You have informational signs, directional signs, warning signs, and you have enforcement signs. Enforcement signs are erected upright or those that are drawn on the road surface. For example, you have stop sign, one-way sign, and it points in the direction where the one-way is. No U-turn, no parking, no right turn, no entry, a number of signs. If there is no sign that are erected upright, you will see yellow markings painted on curb walls. That constitute no parking, and you should not park in those areas. You park where white painting is drawn on those curb walls. Those are areas where parking is permitted. You have continuous white lines that are drawn on road surface. No motorist should drive to the right of a continuous white line. There are some other signs, especially like along Knutsford Boulevard, where the dual carriageway is, but there is any elevated median. You see something looking like a zebra crossing. Those crossing depicts a median, but a median that is not elevated. If you disobey a stop sign, it carries a fine of $4,000 or 6 demerit points. If you disobey the traffic light, the red light, that too carries $4,000 a fine or 6 demerit points. On the approach of a traffic light, for example, Halfway Tree Road, Chelsea Avenue, by GIS there is no filter light. You are to obey the light, and whenever you get green, you are to proceed. These lights are so configured that they allow for a pedestrian to cross. So when that red light is on, pedestrians are crossing. So that's why a filter light is not put in. When approaching a roundabout, you are to yield to the person to the right. Right? Always allow for that person to go first. A similar thing with a yield sign, a giveaway sign. You are to yield to the person and allow that person to proceed. If you happen to overtake, you are to do so if the way is clear, and once you complete that maneuver, you are to get back to the left lane and remain there. We have persons anticipating the light. You have those that are anticipating the green, and even before the green comes on, they are off. And you have others who are beating the amber in order to go by as well. And I should tell you this, red means you are to stop, amber means you are to prepare to stop, and green means you are to go if the way is clear.
And remember, always wear your seatbelt.
Be an active participant in your child's life. Spend time with your child. No phones, no television, no distractions, just the two of you. Get to know your child through play. Why not go to the park and get on the monkey bars? Sharing a meal can also be a time of bonding. If your child's in school, be involved in school activities. Speak with your child's teacher, follow up on their progress in school, and see how you can help. Assist them with homework. Attend parent-teacher meetings and support school fundraising events. Remember, your child's future is in your hands. Safeguard it.
So glad you are a child of mine.
Anna, why you knocking down my door? What is it?
Jackie, I don't know what to do. From Jason dead, I have nothing to give to the children, and I don't know where to turn.
So why you didn't go down to the Administrator General's department, the place I told you about the other day?
Lord Jackie, me know you try to help me, you know, but remember say me and Jason never did married, you know.
What do you mean by that, Anna? The law say if a single man and a single woman live together as husband and wife for 5 years and more immediately before death, then he or she is considered a spouse.
Really? That mean me can't get something then? Cause boy, it rough, you know.
Yes, man, just go down there, tell them about the case, that Jason died, leaving no will, house and children under 18 years. Go down there and see what them can do for you.
A true you're talking, Jackie. Where you say the place there again?
Down a waterfront, man. 12 Ocean Boulevard. Go down there, talk to them and see if them can help you.
Okay, I'm going down there right now.
Good morning, madam. How are you?
Good morning, miss. I hear that the Administrator General's department can help me. You see, my children, them father died, leaving me with the 2 pitney them, and I'm me alone I care for them.
Did he leave a will?
Will, ma'am. After Jason never ready for dead, how come him come from work and drop down dead? My friend tell me say under the law, I'm considered a spouse. By the way, who is a spouse?
Under the Interstates, Estates and Property Charges Act, a spouse is a single man and woman living together as husband and wife for 5 years or more. By living together, the two persons should not have been separated at any time during the 5 years immediately before death. A surviving spouse includes a person who is legally married. That is, he or she went in front of a pastor and took the vow of marriage. If Anna meets the requirements, she can hire an attorney at law or go to the legal aid clinic to apply for an order from the court declaring that she's a spouse. Some of the questions the court will look at are: did Anna and Jason break up during the 5 years? Did Jason have any children born in the same year as Anna's children? The court will also want to know if Anna or Jason were married before and not divorced. Once the order has been granted, the spouse would be entitled to benefit from the estate of the deceased. For further information, you can visit the Administrator General's Department in Kingston, 3rd floor at the Office Center Building, 12 Ocean Boulevard, or call us at 922-183023. You can also visit our Western office at the 2nd floor of the National Housing Trust Building at 42B Union Street, Montego Bay, St. James. Telephone 630-4261. Our website is at www.agd.gov.jm. That's the Administrator General's Department, securing your legacy.
Water is precious. So we encourage everyone to practice the 4 R's of water conservation. Always remember to reduce your use of water wherever possible. Replace water wasting devices with water savings devices. Reuse water wherever possible. And wherever leaks are found, please repair them and repair them quickly.
Don't delay. Practice the 4 R's of water conservation today.
The government has earmarked a day in December for the completion of the draft National Spatial Plan. How will this benefit us? Minister Darrell Vaz explains.
The National Spatial Plan will ensure the optimal use of the nation's land and marine resources and outline the framework for their effective use and management. The plan will therefore provide a strategic spatial framework to guide national development and investment decision-making. The NSP will address the major challenges of disaster risk reduction and climate change response while protecting the environment, improving natural resource management, and enhancing the quality of the built environment. The plan will identify priorities for the spatial planning and development of human settlements, commercial and industrial developments, and improvement of infrastructure for public utilities and social amenities. This NSP is intended to go beyond being a paper document and will be supported by a national spatial planning information technology platform. The NSPIT platform will be accessible to the general public and aims to ultimately provide all the spatial planning database and information to support online application and processing of development applications. All the ministries, agencies, and departments involved in the development processes will therefore benefit from a state-of-the-art and dynamic IT-supported spatial plan.
There's a sort of purposeful selection of the sequence in these human movements. The symbolic significance of hands massaging the air and feet beating to the vibrations of songs. They're focused, energized, ready, and raring to go. If you think about it, they are just like you and I. Well, of course, that's if you can dance. But one thing might be different.
I've been there for 23 years. And I've been dancing for 10 years. I've been deaf for 21 years, and I've been dancing for 14 years. So I've been hard of hearing ever since I was born until now, and I've been dancing for 16 years.
Yes, persons like Christoph, Kimberly, and Demani dance. And despite nature's act of removing a seemingly valuable aspect of their senses, these three are pursuing a certificate in dance at the Edna Manley College of the Visual and Performing Arts, but not without some challenges.
Well, my experience here, at first, when the three of us just arrived, were a bit awkward in terms of communicating. But then we were able to learn from each other, learning from the hearing students, and we were able to, we had issues as well with the rhythm, keeping up with the rhythm at all times, but then we were eventually able to catch up and we started to improve gradually. So for me, my main issue is timing. So I try to work along closely with the other students in the class and the teacher as well. And then eventually I'm able to catch up with the timing in terms of the music. So my challenge during class, it's really to ensure that my body is moving with the timing and the music.
Deaf dancers do move on the beat and in one accord with the rhythm, but the surprising element in this for most persons is just how are they able to, or even why did they choose dance?
I hear a little of the music and I can feel the vibration on the floor as well. So it's not that bad for me. So I use that method throughout.
With his sense of touch heightened through his loss of hearing, Demani can interpret the music through the vibrations he feels. Deaf dancers are visual learners, so for them, their instructors sign the moves or the counts. While other dancers are busy remembering the details of the moves, Those like Damani, Kimberly, and Christoph are counting, keeping time, and watching keenly what their hearing peers are doing so they can interpret the steps.
So I chose to study dancing because dancing is my life. It's my passion ever since. So I want to learn more and more about dancing. I don't want to give up. I don't want to stop. I want to continue. Because my goal is to become a dancer in the future. So when I'm finished at Endemani College, I want to become a dancer and I want to perform around the world. So my goal is to become a dance teacher so that I can empower younger deaf children who really love dancing and empower them so that they can, be as good as I am. It's their turn.
But for acting dean at the School of Dance, being deaf is not the biggest obstacle for becoming a great dancer.
I don't want to describe what we have as challenges. I want to describe them as opportunities to learn. What fundamental to dance is the ability to demonstrate and for the dancer to use their eyes and observe and learn the experience in a visual way and then demonstrate what it is that they have been taught. I think one of the interesting things about the deaf students is that their other senses are heightened. And so they're able to access the information in other ways and quite differently from the hearing students. So it's very interesting to see the learning dynamics, but the end result and the objective or the learning outcome of the experience are still achieved. And we're very happy about that because ultimately we want them to succeed.
And while for the school it is the first time opening its gates to persons like Christoph, Kimberly, and Damani to study dance,
they're eager to receive the information and we're inspired by this drive to learn and to succeed. So even though we have an interpreter, the interpreter is also learning from the experience because we have interpreters who have never been in a school environment like this where dance is concerned. So they're also learning new language. It somehow feels as though they've brought more to us.
For many of the deaf community, the fear of fitting in lingers. But for Christoph, Kimberly, and Damani, dancing is passion-driven and determination-ruled.
Well, I hope that what we've done here at the Endemani College in terms of opening our doors to 3 deaf students will encourage others and inspire them to go after their dreams.
So I remember in high school, there was a quote that says, "I believe I can achieve." I go by that. So in the Bible, it talks about, "I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me." I believe I can achieve.
And that's all we have for you today on Jamaica Magazine, but be sure to join us tomorrow around about the same time for more information you can use. You may also join us online. There's our website, our YouTube channel, or pages on all the major social media platforms, and we also have a mobile app that's compatible with Android and iOS systems. Until then, I'm Adrian Atkinson. Walk good.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.